Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. So from a daily perspective, and this is a very interesting thing about this current market, from a daily perspective, from the low of around 57.76 to the high around 60.19, today we actually had a fairly modest pullback, 50% retracement of that range on decent volume, and then we managed a little bit of a bounce into the close. And so one of the biggest questions that comes up for traders is the idea of like, well, do I focus on the daily bars, okay, and that's what I'm going to trade, and typically you're going to be in positions for like 3 days, to 3 weeks, and that means that you're kind of holding through the swings, right? Or is it something where, is it worthwhile to drop down to a 5-minute chart and try to day trade some of this stuff? And if you are trying to day trade some of this stuff, what is it, what makes it stand out, and what are different things that you want to look at, and does it make sense to look at some of the currencies like the yen, whether it's futures, or of course you could trade this on FXY, and if it's the NASDAQ, of course, you could just day trade it by doing options on the Qs, which one makes the most sense, or even like something like Apple, right? So on a daily perspective there. So what's interesting about this is that as a trader, what's great is you can actually adopt the time frame that kind of fits you best and apply that to your setup. So like if you like Apple, okay, and from a daily perspective, this is a normal pullback today, and if you bought it and you just hold through a normal pullback, and as long as it's trending higher, you're looking to get out at higher highs or whatever your swing target is. Or if you want to be more aggressive, you look at something like this where it's like, all right, we've got some momentum with conviction, and as long as you have momentum and conviction to the downside, you do a day trade short, you buy, if you short Apple, great, or you buy puts on Apple, right? And you can stay in it until the volume dries up, because once the volume dries up, essentially it means like, okay, the focused selling is gone, and if the focused selling is gone and that focused selling is dried up, then you just start to get short covering. So, this whole move was from about 164 to let's call it 161. So 3 solid points. Not hard to go in there and grab a 1.5 of that, from a day trading perspective. Or if you are looking at, say, the NASDAQ futures, okay? Again, on a daily chart, there's nothing to write home about here, but you can see that on a 5-minute chart, you're getting conviction here, okay? And once you get momentum and conviction, you can just ride this wave down. Once it dries up, you get out. Okay, and that's the kind of stuff we want to look at. Or if you're trading currencies, you can look at the yen and see the same thing. I mean, you're getting conviction to the upside, you hold it, okay, even though you're not really seeing that on a daily chart. And so the list kind of goes on and on that way in terms of, what you want to look at there. So for those of you that are not familiar with the whole concept of momentum and conviction and everything like that, I'm going to be doing a free webinar tomorrow, Wednesday, or at least it's Tuesday. So if you're seeing this on Tuesday, it's tomorrow. But it's September 6th. That's going to be 5 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, and of course that's 8 o'clock East Coast time. And I'm going to be talking about this very, very specific tool, whether you're a swing trader or a position trader, or you want to take advantage of the volatility that you're seeing in this market right now. This is how to do it. And I will be talking about how to predict explosions and implosions. Okay, and again, whether it's a daily chart or the 5-minute chart like we were just looking at, how to precisely time the black swan implosion events between August and October. Okay, and I'm looking for one to actually hit in either September or October, and I'll show you exactly what I'll be looking for there. How the simple system can seamlessly add discipline to your trading. Okay, a good example was the price action today. The smart way to exploit the profit potential of put and call options. Again, just holding on to it for as long as that momentum and conviction is there, and when that dries up, just getting out. And a lot of this, there's a saying like some of the best deals that you ever do are the ones that you pass on. It can be the same thing in trades. It's really a function of how do you stop making the bad decisions, and this is a tool that helps with that. And then when to bet small and when to load the boat for a potential home run. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. You can click here to reserve your spot, and I will see you tomorrow.